Hello everybody, Heather here. I've been looking online and there's been an awful lot of comments about what happens at your first hospital appointment. Now, I would say normally when you are first diagnosed, you go to your GP first of all to say that what your symptoms are, and they will do a blood test. And then they should refer you on to rheumatology when that blood test comes back. You will either have, full-blown rheumatoid arthritis, or in my case, over 20 years ago, I was told that I was borderline rheumatoid. And I'm not going to lie, I was absolutely terrified. But what would I do differently that I know now? Well, what happens at your first hospital appointment is that you go along and you meet the consultant. And if I'd known then, I would have kept a diary of what my symptoms were so that I could have handed that over. Because of technology, the way that we've got it today, it would actually be good. So if you've got swollen joints, whether it's your hands or your feet or something like that, I would take photographs and I would use them at my first meeting and show my consultant what it is that you have been dealing with. So everybody suggests now that keeping a diary of how your symptoms are. And there are even some apps out there that you can use to do that and download and keep all what your symptoms are. Now remember, it's not just a case of your joints and everything else. Your mood has an awful lot to do with rheumatoid arthritis as well. It can make, you utterly exhausted and fatigued. And even today I saw some comments from people saying that they couldn't sleep. That's a very common side effect. And I'll frequently have nights where it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, before you actually get to sleep. One of the other things that they should do after your initial diagnosis is to send you for x-rays. Now that's very normal. You will normally get your joints that are affected x-rayed, and you will probably get a chest x-ray done at the same time, because for the medication there are certain drugs that they can't put you on if you've got additional problems like lung problems or whatever. So or you've had TB, for instance. So that's why that they're going to do that. Don't panic. When I said I was diagnosed with borderline rheumatoid arthritis when I started, I was only told 3 years ago that I had full-blown rheumatoid arthritis now. Now, that's a long time for it to develop. And at that time, I was able to work full-time. I'm not able now, but there's lots of circumstances, that's gone along with that. And I've had lots of different drugs. But if I can allay some of your fears, tell me what it is that's worrying you. And I'll see if I can give any, I won't say advice, but I can give you what my experience has been. But I would definitely say, don't panic about that first hospital appointment. The staff are usually very, very good. They've seen this. They're dealing with this all the time. And they want to see how your joints are. Another thing that they will ask you is to score your pain levels on 1 to 10. And I always get asked this when I meet with the biologics nurse, that they have something that you have to fill in. They'll ask you about your stiffness in the morning. How long is it before the stiffness leaves? And questions like that. They'll look at your walking. So you'll be asked to, they'll be looking at your joints. They will be feeling your hands and looking at your hands and seeing if they're swollen. That you'll see my pads are always swollen. But they'll be looking to see how swollen that your hands are with your joints. They will look at any other affected areas. My feet and my ankles are also quite badly affected. And I can't walk. My mobility is affected for me, that I can't walk very far. And if I do walk, it has to be on the street. So that's the kind of things that they'll look at. They'll look at your joints. They want to know how you've been with it, what your stiffness is, And at that point, your consultant should say what they're going to start you off with. And the drugs normally that they start off with are either sulfasalazine or methotrexate. They might also give you, if your joints are particularly flared, they might give you a steroid injection, Kenalog, or you might be given steroid tablets to take. Don't panic. You know, steroids does help the joints, you know, until such time, because the medication's not going to work right away. Whereas steroids do tend to mask your symptoms and reduce the swelling. But for most people, the medication takes a good, 8 to 10 weeks, sometimes even longer, before it's fully in your body and your body's going to react to the medication. But hopefully you're going to get a really good consultant. Oh, and I should say, one of the other good things that they do now is that most of them will give you, I'm looking for my little sheet, but most of them will actually give you how to contact your rheumatology team. So whether it's by phone or by email, so they will give you a little booklet. They might even give you a booklet telling you all about rheumatoid arthritis and about the symptoms. So don't be scared for going for your first appointment. It can only ever help you. Hope this has been helpful to you, and please send me any questions that you have right in the comments. And if you like this video, please thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.